my name is Jessica Bermúdez, and today I'm going to explain an important topic in education that is related with dual language programs or bilingualism, especially when we talk about respect and equality for all students in the school. It is important to take into account the minority and the need of these students in order to create a social justice and linguistic human rights into the classroom. Okay, we will take an example where education can become anti-constructivist. Many immigrants who live in the United States, according to statistics, have lacked basic literacy or peer literacy skills because the schools do not offer opportunities to engage the learning process autonomously, but only by teacher-led instruction, many times forgetting the importance of respecting the diversity of students. This is probably due to a concept called bilinguophobia, which is the excessive fear of bilingualism, literacy, bilingual communities, and any educational approach for promoting the acquisition and use of non-dominant languages before learning of the dominant one. This concept is known since the First World War as a fear speech. The 26th President of the United States expressed bilinguophobia in one of his speeches in 1917. He expressed, "We must have but one flag. We must also have but one language. That must be the language of the Declaration of Independence, of Washington's farewell address, of Lincoln's Gettysburg speech and second inaugural. We cannot tolerate any attempt to oppose or supplant the language and culture that has come down to us from the builders of this republic." As a result, the use of German for teaching and learning in bilingual schools was prohibited. Okay, so post-World War I, different tests were carried out in which both bilinguals and monolinguals participated. The bilingual people obtained very low results. Therefore, it was stated that bilingualism affected the intelligence of the people. Consequently, the English-only movement was created especially in the state of California, which in 1994 sought to eliminate health and educational service for undocumented immigrants through proposition bilingualism as a hazard to national unity. Of course, it was stated that English was at the heart of the civilization. In 2002, it was approved the No Child Left Behind Act, so American schools have been forced to demand their respective students to progressively improve their exam grades if they don't want to lose the funding they receive from the federal government. This had a lot of consequence on the levels of knowledge and linguistic skills of the students' minority, in this case Latinos. Therefore, it was evident the need to implement an education where culture and linguistics are properly respected, bearing in mind that the use of the home language in the learners of a second language is a paramount for the cognitive development. As Spinoza claims, loss of the home language has potential negative long-term consequences for the English language learner, child's academic, social, and emotional development, as well as for the family dynamics. Therefore, it was proposed a curriculum that will address the needs of the students, creating a constructivist approach that takes into account the culture, language, and values that students build both at home and community environments, observing from the perspective that development and learning are enhanced when they occur in contexts that are socioculturally, linguistically, and cognitively meaningful for the learner. Well, now I'm going to talk about the goals, benefits, and general strategies that characterize dual languages programs. So let's start with the goals. The idea is that teachers teach the importance and diversity of languages, ethnicities, religions, and social class background in order to produce students that are bilingual, bicultural, and biliterate. There are some specific benefits that can be found when implementing dual language program, which are related to educational because it is a program that benefits all students, poor or rich, because they can acquire high levels of proficiency in their first language and in their second language. There are also cognitive benefits since bilingual students achieve linguistic knowledge and cognitive aspects on academic tasks that call for creativity and problem solving. Also, students can improve sociocultural aspects by being able to communicate and interact with people with different cultures and thus expand their mind. On the other hand, the work aspect is also benefited because most jobs require bilingual staff. Finally, the global issue, bilingualism, allows the communication between countries, which can be used as a strategy to obtain peace with different nations that are currently at war. To put this program into practice, you can take into account different strategies such as the importance of immerse the students in text, the use of demonstrations and examples of how you should use and construct a text, the importance of having a relevant time for the development of learning, the creation of work groups during the class, also the motivation to participate so students make mistakes but take risks. Okay, regarding to strategies, there are some specific strategies that teachers can use to improve students' understanding or comprehension. Teachers should speak slower but natural and use clear enunciation. Teachers should simplify and shorten sentences to explain a process or a concept. Teachers should use communication strategies such as rephrasing, repetition, and clarification when they presenting new material or explaining activities. Finally, teachers should encourage students to create their own learning logs or journals through the teaching of new vocabulary. In terms of assessment, the idea is that students are participants in their learning process using portfolios so they can evaluate their own growth, look at their strengths and weakness through reading samples, reading logs, drawings, audio tapes, videotapes, teacher and students' comments, and benchmarks of what good work looks like. A school can be defined as exemplary when it has flexibility, that is, it adapts to the diversity of the students. Also, when coordination is evidenced through the use of different resources to achieve academic goals. When there is a cultural validation, where materials and discussions that build the linguistics and cultural aspects are incorporated, and finally when there is a shared vision among each of people that make up the institution, like principal, staff, parents, and community. Therefore, dual language programs need assessment procedures that account for the development and use of two languages for instruction when teaching second languages learners. Okay, so to summarize, the program curriculum proposal in dual language is not subtractive, it's not compensatory programs, it's not superimposed on traditional school, and it's not remedial program. So Thank you. So that's it. These are the references, and thank you so much for listening and watching, and I hope that you like this video.